Hey guys, Salty here, aka Michael J. Crawford. Good to see you guys. Well, I don't really see you because this is just a video, and so really you just see me. But anyway, I just finished watching the Fantastic Four trailer, and I've watched it a couple of times now, and I'm trying to think of the best way to describe how I feel after seeing the trailer. And honestly, I have to say my first reaction is it looks great. And while that sounds like, okay, so you liked it, everything's groovy, fine. Except that that's also the problem with it. It looks great, but there's something missing when you flesh out some of this. And so don't get me wrong, I think it's going to be a good movie. And there are some aspects of this that absolutely blew me away. So, Herbie the Robot, seeing Herbie the Robot, comic book accurate, and honestly, looking great, I thought was awesome. The Thing looked absolutely awesome. Galactus, holy crap, it's not a giant cloud. Galactus looks like Galactus. Now, granted, we never see Galactus from the front. We only see the back of his head, but we can see that he has a head. So I am very, very excited about the coming of Galactus in this film. There is no reveal of the Silver Surfer, so we'll see what she looks like when we get there. What's funny is we never see Mr. Fantastic use his powers in the trailer. Everybody else we do, but we never see Reed actually stretch. And I understand that, like, the stretching effect has got to be probably the toughest of their powers to replicate on film and have it look good. I get that. But man, I really wanted to see it. I really wanted to see how they were going to deal with it in this iteration of the Fantastic Four. And they have plenty of opportunities to, like when Reed is at the very, very large chalkboard, much like in the Tim Story film when Reed was using his elongated arm to write across a very long chalkboard. I would have liked to have seen something like that, but unfortunately, yeah, nothing. And where the trailer really misses the mark for me is honestly when they start opening up their mouths. And this might sound weird, as and I know that it's personal bias to some extent because I have been a fan of the Fantastic Four since the mid 1970s. I have almost every Fantastic Four comic book that exists in my collection. However, when I hear Ben Grimm talk in this trailer, he looks like Ben Grimm, but he sure don't sound like Ben Grimm.
I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip.
And when I say that, it's not because, like Michael Chiklis was great as Ben in the old movies, but it's not because he doesn't sound like Michael Chiklis. It's because he doesn't sound like he's from Brooklyn, New York. Ben Grimm is supposed to sound, and granted, it's not explicitly stated in the comics. I recognize that. But Ben Grimm is as New York as New Yorkers get. And so to have him speak in what feels like a fairly generic American accent when he really needed to sound like he was from Brooklyn, that I was a little disappointed with. Tone of his voice, and this goes for all of them, is that they didn't really act like the Fantastic Four. Ben is, him doing the cooking thing with Herbie, okay, fine. But how do you do a Fantastic Four trailer where Ben doesn't have anything negative to say about Johnny? How do you do a Fantastic Four trailer where Johnny doesn't say something snarky and mean about Ben? Heck, Johnny hardly says anything at all in this trailer. And in fact, I think the only thing he actually says is this.
Hi.
And that's it. That's not much. I mean, we get dialogue. We get a decent amount of dialogue from Ben. We get a lot of dialogue from Reed and Sue. Well, from Sue anyway. And that's the other problem. Look, don't get me wrong. Sue is a strong female motherly character for this team. She is not the female Captain America. She is not the leader of this team. She's not the one who inspires them to go into action. And I'm sorry, I know some people may find this offensive, but I don't care. Reed is the leader of this team. Reed is literally the smartest man on the planet. But in this trailer, he doesn't feel like he's the smartest man on the planet. He feels like, well, the guy who's married to Sue. And I've heard rumors that really the focal point of this movie is going to be all about Sue, and that she's going to be the center of everything in this film, and she's going to be the leader of the team, blah, 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 blah. I hope that's not true, because don't get me wrong, it's not a slight against Sue or against women, but I think that the Fantastic Four work best when they are portrayed as a nuclear family. And that means that Sue and Reed are the quote-unquote parents of this family, sure. But Reed is, in fact, the true father of this family and should be the actual leader of this team. But I'm a little concerned. I'm not going to lie. However, all that being said, it was fun to see. I love the visual style of the film. I think that all the characters look good. And man, I cannot wait to see Galactus done right. But even more than that, and I don't know that it's going to be in this movie, but, it would be stupid for them not to. I really want to see Doctor Doom done right. But we'll talk more about that when the time comes. Take care.
Ben, Johnny, Sue, and Reed. The Fantastic Four movie is coming soon. Galactus is hungry, the planet he does need. It may spell Earth's certain doom. But Ben is cooking with Herbie the robot. Johnny is in the sky on fire and flying supersonic. Reed and Sue are talking about stuff. Humanoid, experimental robot, B-type integrated electronics. Well, the trailer looks good, but maybe not great. We never heard Johnny yell flame on. I don't think Ben would be cooking anything but a steak. Oh, and thank you to my supporters on Patreon. Jason Rogers, Sean Gaclo, Twinkle Teaches, Leighton Kresman, Lee Crystal, Laura Finney, Thomas Potts, 47 Yorktown, Roll Heps, Jihad Daisuke, Firetail, T. Stoney, Indy